Hello everybody, my name is TC French. I'll be going over Psalms 119, 33 through 48. Psalms 119, 33 through 48. To start off, I'll read the scripture. Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I'll keep it to the end. Give me understanding that I may keep your law and observe it with my whole heart. Lead me in the path of your commandments, for I delight in it. Incline my heart to your testimonies and not to selfish gain. Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things, and give me life in your ways. Confirm to your servant your promise, that you may be feared. Turn away the reproach that I dread, for your rules are good. Behold, I long for your precepts, and your righteousness give me life. Starting at 41. Let your steadfast love come to me, O Lord, your salvation according to your promise. Then shall I have an answer for him who taunts me, for I trust in your word. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for my hope is in your rules. I will keep your law continually, forever and ever, and I will walk in the wide place, for I sought your precepts. I will also speak of your testimonies before kings, and shall not be put to shame. For I delight in your commandments, for which I love. I will lift up my hands towards your commandments, which I love, and I'll meditate on your statutes. So the first section of verses 33 through 40 kind of reminds me of Matthew 7 through 8. Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and to those who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. And also 1 John 5:14 through 15. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask according to His will, He hears us. And if we know that He hears us, whatever we ask, we know that we have what we asked of Him. In the first sections, you'll see that David is asking God for things. So in verse 33, he says, "Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I'll keep it to the end." And in verse 34, it says, "Give me understanding, and I will keep your law and observe it with my whole heart." In the first two verses, he's asking God for knowledge and understanding. I like to think of knowledge just as based off the facts, and the understanding as the application of those facts. So he's asking God for the knowledge of his law and to take it a step farther and apply God's law in his life. He then finishes the verse and said, "I will keep it to the end." This reminds me of 2 Timothy 4:7. Here Paul states, "I have fought the good fight, and I have finished the race, and I have kept my faith." In the last part of verse 34, when he says, "Observe it with my whole heart," he's not stating here that he's just a piece of his heart he's observing it with a piece of his heart. He's stressing the importance of giving God everything, giving it your whole, giving it everything you have. Another verse that was that I related to was Colossians 1:9 through 10. Colossians 1:9 through 10. For this reason, since the day we heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you. We continually ask God to fill you with knowledge of His will through all the wisdom and understanding that the Spirit gives, so that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please Him in every way, bringing fruit in every good work, growing in knowledge of God. In verse 35, it states, "Lead me in the path of your commandments, for I delight in it." So right after he asks for knowledge, understanding in verse 33 and 34, he asks for God to lead him. A verse that stuck out to me that explains this very well is Proverbs 3:5 through 6. Proverbs 3:5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Moving to verse 36. Incline my heart to your testimonies, and not to selfish gain. 37. Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things, and give me life in your ways. Two verses that I related with here was Hebrews 12:1 and 2. Hebrews 12:1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and seated at the right hand of the throne of God. And Colossians 3:2. Colossians 3:2. Set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. This turn my eyes from looking at worthless things. It reminds me of Ecclesiastes when it puts in perspective of all the worldly things being vanity. The whole book is just surrounding that everything is vanity that's not focused on God. Verse 38 through 40. Confirm to your servant your promise, that you may be feared. Turn away the reproach that I dread, for your rules are good. Behold, I long for your precepts, and your righteous give me life. Here he ends with a purpose of why he asked for the things he previously stated. He's striving to follow God, yearning and excited to change his life and to be in alignment with God's will. He also asked God in verse 39 to turn away from his reproach. This reminds me of Psalms 32:1. Psalms 32:1. Blessed is the one whose transgressions is forgiven, whose sin is covered. I'm going to go to verse 2 also. Blessed is the man against whom the Lord counts no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. Jumping to the next section, starting at verse 41 of Psalms 119 verse 41. Let your steadfast love come to me, O Lord, your salvation according to your promise. And shall I answer for him who taunts me, for I trust in your word. And take not the truth utterly out of my mouth, for my hope is in your rules. And I will keep your law continually, forever and ever. And I shall walk in a wide place, for I have sought your precepts. A practical example that I can think of that relates to these verses for me is Acts 6, chapter 6 and 7. It's a story of Stephen when he is captured and stoned. Stephen demonstrates while facing his captors that he has total faith in God's promise of salvation. He also provides an answer in Acts 7 verses 1 through 53, essentially giving a brief summary of the Bible. He continues in these beliefs even while facing death. Moving on to verse 46. I will also speak of your testimonies before kings, and shall not be put to shame. A good example of this would be in Acts 26. Paul gives us his defense before King Agrippa and speaks of his conversation and nearly convinces the king to become a Christian. Verse 28. Acts 26, verse 28. And then in verse 47 and 48, For I find my delight in your commandments, which I love. I will lift up my hands towards your commandments, which I love, and I will meditate on your statutes. He expresses joy in the law and obedience to the Lord. My favorite is how he ends the section is, I will meditate on your statutes. Meditation has become a powerful tool in my life. You don't have to do it in a silent room. You can always do it while driving your car, mowing your lawn, doing your chores. In my life, I use meditation and prayer to combat stress. One of my favorite verses that helps me start that is Philippians 4:8. It says, Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think of these things. That is all I had. I hope you learn from it and are able to apply some of these in your daily life. Thank you.